So, if you look online, there's companies selling surf systems for $5,000 and you get two flaps, two actuators, and a switch. I mean, that is a lot of money for that. Now, what that does is it shapes your wave and it enables you to flip from side to side. But what it doesn't do is control your pitch and roll. And I have found through years of screwing around that you can have all the suck gates and all the flaps in the world. If you don't get your pitch and roll right, you're not getting a good wave. And there's been so many times I've been on the water with my kids and the wave is amazing and everything is great. And I think I'm a hero. I finally did it just to go the next day and the wave sucks. And you have the same people, the same weight, the same everything. The problem is you're running out of fuel. So the weight is changing. People are moving around. And it's really hard to keep a consistent wave if your variables are constantly changing. You need something that's going to keep everything in check. I was looking for an aftermarket surf system that actually fixed this problem, but I couldn't find one. I mean, I would have happily bought one, but there just wasn't one to buy. Anyways, how this system works is you have a hydrostatic pressure sensor for every bag, which gives you a very accurate reading of the bag level. And you have an inclinometer that measures your pitch and roll. And you have valves for every bag. And I'll give you a quick rundown of how this thing works. So let me just turn down. I have this thing on a simulator right now because it's too cold to be on a boat, that's for sure. So here, all of the bags are empty. And we'll start from, so what we're going to do is we're going to press the pre-fill button. What that's going to do, it's going to open up all these valves and turn the pump on and start pre-filling. Now the pre-fill, you can actually set how much pre-fill you want per bag. You can actually measure each bag, and on pre-fill, it will fill every bag to whatever you preset. The reason there's a pre-fill is because you don't want your automatic programming pre-filling the boat. That doesn't make sense. So this is a better way to do it. So my boat, it uses one giant pump for everything because it's super high volume. So, I mean, I can fill my whole boat in a couple minutes versus having a pump for every bag takes forever. It was useless. I hated it. So, the reason that it's filling these three at the same time is because these are the original ballasts that came with the boat and they've got like a 1 inch line. So, because my pump is so powerful, I'm just filling them all at once, right? These back ones, they're on a 2 inch ball valve and each one fills individually. So I'll just fill the boat on this emulator here, not that one. So the left center is filling, you'll see it drop off. The center is filling, you'll see it drop off. The front is filling, you'll see it drop off, and then the pump will shut off. Then it will open the back valve with the pump off, wait for the valve to open, and turn the pump back on. And it's going to do the exact same thing for the other rear bag. Where are we here? Left rear. That's not the right bag here. This is the left rear. Okay, anyways, all the bags are full and we're done our pre-fill. So that's great. Pre-fill is done and it moves to cruise mode. Cruise mode just means that your ballasts have stuff in there and you're not on auto. That's basically all it means. So I'm just going to set the bags to a reasonable level here. Okay, the purpose of auto, what it's supposed to do is it monitors your roll and it monitors your pitch. And how it does that is it has an inclinometer and it fills these bags until it reaches its desired pitch or roll. And it does this in a sequence where it prioritizes weight. So it makes its calculation based on how can I get the desired roll and pitch and do that while maintaining the most amount of weight possible, right? Let me just put some water in these bags here. There, and we got some water in there. So right now, the boat is heavily skewed over here. Let's just straighten her out. All right, let's press auto. Okay, so there she goes. So it's filling the left rear bag. Why? Well, because we're trying to go that way. So let's fill the bag. Okay, we're full. And now it's going to fill the next bag because we haven't gotten over here yet. Let's fill the next one. Well, we filled up another bag and we still haven't moved over. Now, of course, in real life, it's going to move over, right? But we're not in real life here. You'll notice now that it's removing water out of this back bag. So what it's done is it's basically given you as much weight as you can possibly have on the left side for your roll. And now it's resorting to removing weight on the back because it's the only way it's going to get this over there. So let's just pretend that the weight actually did its job. Whoops, wrong button. This is the roll. Okay, so the roll is where we want it to be. And if you ever see active stuck, it just means that it's tried everything it could. It's drained every single bag. And active stuck just means you don't have enough weight and water. You're going to have to move people or lead, which is just like any other surf boat. Okay, so anyways, our roll is dialed in, and by the way, it will always prioritize roll over pitch. So if the roll isn't right, it's going to go back to roll before it adjusts pitch. Also, the center bag is just is the middle bag. It's the center of the pivot. It doesn't adjust the center bag. You fill your center bag in pre-fill, and it is what it is. I would have it maxed out, but it's not always that way for everyone. Okay, so now we need to correct our pitch. So pitch is really easy, and pitch just uses the front bag and nothing else. It's the only way it controls pitch. Either it adds weight or subtracts weight. It does nothing with the other bags for pitch. So if I was to fill this front bag all the way, it's just going to get stuck. I'm going to move where is the thing? It's asking to remove water because it needs to go that way. That makes sense. So I'll remove all the water. Now it's stuck because it can't remove any more water. There's no more water to remove, right? So I'll put it where it wants to go. Just pretend it got some water in there. Okay. So our pitch and roll looks like it's sort of where we want it to be. And it says achieved, and it's not doing anything anymore. So that's good. Okay, now that we've got auto out of the way, you'll notice that here it says GPS no fix. How this works is that you need to be going a certain speed for this auto engage to work at all. It's just not going to work while you're sitting there. You need to be moving for it to work. And let me see, under Cal, you'll see that I have the GPS bypass on, so I don't have to have the GPS working to test my system. But this is your miles per hour setting here to adjust when you want your auto to work. So that's a good feature. All right, let's talk about the rest of the stuff, I guess. So tabs is a super easy thing. It's just when you're skiing goofy, it's going to open the left tab. When you're skiing normal, it's going to open the right tab. These are set on timers because I've never seen tabs with potentiometers in them. I've seen tabs that are hydraulically controlled and they use pressure to change the gauge. If they make an actuator with a potentiometer, then it'd be very easy to measure its position, but I've never seen one. I'm sure they must exist somewhere. Anyways, right now they're adjusted on time. So they just flop out. I actually find that the surf tabs are not really that big of a deal anyways. I get just as good of a wave with a suck gate as I do a surf tab. The only thing they're good for is changing direction on the fly, which is kind of cool. I like that. But if you have tabs, you can definitely incorporate them quite easily. This is regular surfing, goofy surfing, and of course, whoever profile you pick will also pick that if they happen to be in one of those categories. This is just your mode that you're in right now. You're either in auto or you're in pre-fill. This button turns off the tablet, so this is all run on a tablet in the boat. So this is just emulating how the tablet will look, but it's not designed for a Windows computer. It's designed for a tablet. All right, this is your menu options, users, pretty obvious. Service, it tells you the firmware number. Yes, I've literally built this. I've had probably a couple hundred iterations of this software. It took a long time to make this. It's not as easy as it looks. Probably something you never have to look at. This is your calibration tab. So this system is extremely versatile. You can adjust every tiny little aspect of the system. You can adjust if you want your bags to work on auto. Let's just say that you wanted to skip a bag. You don't want one of these bags to work on auto. You can just turn that bag off. This enables, if you have slow valves like mine that take a few seconds to open, you can click this on and there'll be a delay before the pump comes on because you don't want your pump to hit a dead end like that. It's not good for the pump. This is your bag sensor capture. So when you are empty, you press E on every bag and it logs what empty is. And when you're full, you do the exact same thing in every bag and it tells the sensor what is empty and what is full. Pitch and roll 0 just means you get onto the boat with nothing in it and it's sitting straight. You go set, and it zeroes it. So you knows where your 0 mark is. Don't worry about that. This is your pre-fill targets, which we've already been over. Limits. So basically this is, if you're going over 25 miles an hour, auto's no longer going to work. You're going way too fast. It's crazy. You can have a max roll or a max pitch target. So if your boat is about to sink and it's about to tip over, you can actually program it so that the system won't allow it to do that. You just tell it, this is the max amount of roll, this is the max amount of pitch, and you're not allowed to go past that. This is the speed, which we've already been over, but there it is. This here is the temperature of your pump. So for me, I monitor the temperature of the pump because I want to know if it's being abused or not. So I can monitor its temperature, and if it gets too hot, it just automatically shuts it off, unless I have that on, right? So, yeah. Anyways, so I built this thing for me. I didn't build it for any other reason, and now I've got so many hours into it. I wonder if anyone else might want it. No. Is this something someone else would want? Who knows? Um, if it is, let me know.